Hey, welcome to Musings episode number 245. Man, we got episodes now.
That's an awesome thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been a pretty good week for me here. Things have been getting better. How about you, Brett?
You know, it's been good. Survived the latest snowstorm / heat wave / flood / back to freezing and more
about
snow
to be
coming on
another
Thursday.
snowstorm.
Well, of course it is, because we got Great Lakes Comic-Con this weekend.
Yes, that's right. Looking forward to that.
Two of the three of us will be set up, but Scott's going to be now. Scott, are you going to troop it all, or are you just going to just show up?
I'm just going to show up. I'm okay. There to support you guys. So I will not have an official presence there, but I don't have the book with me in here. The Frankenstein book. Pretend insert book here.
Insert giant manual.
Indeed. So, but the Frankenstein books, the proof copies have arrived. We have 20 of them. I individually signed each one on the inside title page. I labeled it proof copy, 1 of 20, 2 of 20. So they're individually numbered and signed. Those will be available at Great Lakes this weekend at Brett and or Kevin's table, depending how their setups are.
We are set up next to each other. For the main reason was we never know what's going to happen weather-wise around this show. And so the last couple years that Kevin's been coming up doing the show with us, and he loves doing it. And I don't mind myself having next to me. Is that I get 2 tables so that way he can be next to me. And if he for some reason gets stuck and can't get out of the state of Indiana, then there's not an empty table away, and I can just spread out and cover it. So that's usually what I end up doing there. So, yeah, we'll be together. We'll have all the Bardstone goodies. So all the
it'll be good.
Shadows 1, 2, and 3.
That's right. Yeah, we'll have copies for the first time available at a comic book convention, available for sale. And just to update you people waiting on rewards. So there was a delay on medals, the metal prints and cards that go into everyone's rewards. They arrived last night. So I had pre-packaged a lot of stuff. Now I just got to finalize it. So by this weekend, end of this weekend, I hope to have everybody shipped out. If not, it'll be very close to it.
I know one of my friends, Stacy, who's popped on here and said, hey, during the show, has gotten her package. And as soon as I get a chance to see her, because she's taking care of some personal things, I will sign her book for her. So, hey, good morning, Kevin. Get to see Kevin this week. He's going to come on up and hang out, do the con.
I'm excited for that.
Excited about all of us kind of being together for once in a while, and we don't get to all 3 be in the same room together. We'll probably do, and this is it's kind of, we always do our little breakfast club thing on Saturday morning there over on John R.
So my plan is to join you guys so I'll be going on Friday to assist with setup and delivering lots of inventory to Brett and Kevin. So that'll be good. And I'll spend a little bit of time there on Friday. I won't be there long. And then Saturday, though, I'll definitely be there the first half of the day for sure. And depending how the turnout is and whether I may stay the entire day. So
other than being cold, looks like it should be a decent day to come out to the concert. They're using that are within reasonable distance of coming out to the show on Saturday. And I always recommend Saturday to most people unless you want to come both days. Or I can only come Friday. It's nice to come for a few hours on Friday. But Friday's a shorter day. It's just a little preview night. So
well, the nice thing about Friday too is it is far less crowded. So if you're not big on crowds, if you want to be able to just take time at each table without feeling rushed or feeling crowded by other people, then Friday's a great day to go because it truly is alone time with you have time to converse with the artists and the creators, versus Saturday, especially if it's during the rush, we don't want to be rude, but we're also there to make sales. So we try to keep our conversations more short so we can move on to the next person. So if you want that quality time, come Friday.
So I will be Fry from Futurama, the whole king going, shut up and give me your money.
Indeed.
No, I'm kidding. We'll spend some time with you guys. Hope to see a few people we pretty much only see about those shows up in Macomb. So definitely excited about that. And then we also will have, and we'll give an update here shortly. We'll show you what the pins look like, and you can go on right at the show and support the Kickstarter. But you won't get your pins at the show; you'll get them when they get delivered. But we'll have something to show off a little bit, so that way you guys can support the current Kickstarter, which we're trying to get. Last I looked, we needed 13 more people to hit the 50 backer goal. We've already hit the $1,000 goal. So definitely support us on that. It's gonna be cool. We'll get more on that here in a bit, but we should probably take care of some business first.
Business.
Gotta take
We
care of
all
business.
love business.
Yes, we have Loringer Family Chiropractic Center, PC, located in Belleville, Michigan, and Dexter, Michigan. They take great pride in providing the finest chiropractic care to each and every patient, offering on-site digital X-rays, massage therapy, orthotics by foot levelers, young essential oils, aromatherapy, full line of vitamins, all in a family-oriented environment. Give them a call in Belleville at 734-697-4244. You can reach them online at LoringerFamilyChiropractic.com. We have a link on our website for that, as well as on Facebook at Loringer Family Chiro. And then their latest thing they posted was about lifting, which for us, there are all the shovelings going on, even down to Texas. They're getting some snow, and they want to let you know you don't bend from your back, twist or hold a load away from your body. You do bend from your knees, keep your back straight, feet shoulder width apart, and 1 foot slightly forward, and then you pick up the load close to your body and stand straight up and use strong glenoid muscles rather than your back. Or you do like I do, and you wait for the kids to come around and pay them $20 and they can clear the snow out for you.
There you have it.
No, I've done a lot of shoveling too when they weren't able to get around here, but we got a couple of kids that started coming around with their mom, and when I'm not here, I told mom, I said, give them $20. It's a lot of work, and these kids are working hard, and and they do a good job. I came home from work the other day after it snowed again, and I couldn't shovel, and it was nice and clear. A little bit of ice, but the ice has been tough because everything's melting and freezing so much anymore.
Speaking of the ice, just a few days back, I think it was Thursday, I just stepped on a tiny piece and my legs went flying out from under me. I landed on my knee. Actually, I think it was Wednesday. I mentioned it last week. Landed on my knee. Oh, I hurt. And then later the next day, my other leg, I think the way I landed or something, it started hurting. It didn't hurt that day, but Thursday it was like, man, that's killing me. I'm fine now, but boy, actually right now, even if I kneel on my left knee, it hurts. So I wonder if I got a little crack or something, but who knows?
Yeah.
But enough of my old man problems.
So
today I want to talk to you about this. We're entering the time of year where a lot of people are going to want to sell their house, and it's like the Super Bowl season for real estate. And problem is, it's a limited time frame. Your house, it's like food on the shelves at the bakery. Freshness matters. And a lot of people are going to decide, I can do this on my own and sell for sale by owner. Well, here's what happens when you do for sale by owner. Bam. Knock yourself out. Actually, I don't know if the sound will play. Let's see if we get the sound. Let's try it with sound. That's what happens when you do for sale by owner. So could you hear the sound of the hit?
Oh yeah. I can hear it. And and I see that all the time. I see a lot of people trying to do these for sale by owners. And this is the thing is I've never just, even with cars, you got to be careful with cars, especially too. But with houses, it's even more intense. It's crazy. I mean, when you go buy a car, I feel like I'm there for an hour and a half signing just every ridiculous thing in the world. For housing, I've not signed one myself, but I've done rental stuff. But I've been with like my brother when he refinanced and things like that, and he was signing. I mean, a stack of paperwork like this, stuff like that. I mean, and if you're selling it, there's a lot more stuff too. So it's just I don't understand the insanity of people who think they're actually saving money by doing it themselves. And realistically, they're probably costing themselves tens of thousands of dollars.
Well, they are for sure. There are so many factors that go into how you price a home. And unfortunately, most people think they know the price of their home just because of popular websites that give you estimates. Right? And the problem is they can be very wrong. And I'll tell you this, I'll give you a little insider secret here. So listen up. As a realtor, when I have a buyer, if we're having trouble finding houses for them, we'll turn to for sale by owners. We love selling for sale by owner houses to our buyers because our buyers get amazing deals. I'm telling you, on average, they've done studies, 12 to 18%, you will undersell yourself to save that 6% commission. There's so much involved with the negotiation process and everything else, but then it goes on beyond that. There's the showing process, making sure you have pre-qualified buyers and setting up the whole closing process and walking people through that. Then even after you get through all that, if you did everything yourself, you got all the liability on yourself. Whereas if you hire a professional, if something goes wrong, the professionals can handle it. We have errors and omissions insurance and other things that will help cover things should there be problems. So, you on one hand, you think you're saving, but to save that $6,000 commission that you might pay out, you're potentially losing 18,000.
Hmm.
So you net that out, you lost 12. It's not worth it. And we understand how to stage your house, how to market your house. So many steps in the process that go beyond just
Well, and
just
that's the whole thing. The people that are selling the realize that yes, you're paying commission, but you're paying these people to work for you to sell your house to get you the most money for the house.
yeah,
And if they're not doing their job, you can say no, and you're not paying
yeah.
any commission at that point.
At the end of the day, my job
Mhm.
actually isn't to sell your house. My job is to market your house and to
Right.
give you the biggest possible buyer pool. The bigger the buyer pool is, the more potential offers, the more better qualified potential buyers you have. Everything becomes larger when you enhance that buyer pool. Okay, we're throwing out a huge net for you. That's what we're doing. We're marketing you, and through how we set our pricing, the photos we take, the sites we post to. These are all ways we use to maximize your buyer pool. When you do a for sale by owner, so many for sale by owners, you call them, they don't answer the phone. Why? Oh, they're working. They can't take calls for the 10 hours of the day when buyers are trying to reach them. Then the buyer wants to see the house. Like, well, I'll be in 2 days from now, I'll be at the house. I can let you in. The buyer's found another house by then.
Yeah.
There's so many factors that where for sale by owners shoot themselves in the foot. So give us a call. It's a free consultation. Pick our brains. Let us tell you what we do and how we can help you. On average, our lately it's kind of hard to everything sells above asking price lately.
Yeah, I
But
think I saw
even
on the news today it was
yeah,
like 17 or 18% they're talking about has been
yeah.
the overall increase in housing prices
Oh, it's been
as an average. So
crazy. But before all this, when the average realtor in the MLS tracks all this, the average real estate agent was selling houses at about 97, 98%, 96, 97% of asking price. Our average was 101.3 or something like that. I forget the point now. But the point is, we were selling on average 4% higher than the average person. That more than paid for our portion of the commission.
yeah,
And then you have factor in that we are also getting higher prices than for sale by owners. That also adds into the equation. So at the end of the day, we end up paying for ourselves, really. So
yeah.
give us a call, 586-232-5144. I put it in the comment section there, or go to real estate. I'm blinking here. Team Titans of Real
Yep.
Estate.com.
And the thing is, I tell people down in my area to contact Scott and Jill,
Yeah.
even if they can't necessarily help them because of the distance, stuff like that. They give great advice. They can help refer you to somebody that will take care of
Yeah.
them
Even
and
if
go
you're
from
out
there.
of the state,
Yeah,
if you're in Tennessee, we actually somebody I know was moving to Tennessee. We helped them sell their house here, but we have an amazing relocation department here that networks across the entire country. They primarily work with realty executives because that's who we are. But if you're going to an area where realty executives doesn't have a presence, that's okay. They know how to search out those agents who are really good in that area, and they'll connect you with it. So even if you live in another state and you're moving in that state, call us. We'll gladly hook you up and find a quality agent for you if you don't know one.
yep. So awesome. So we've got a Kickstarter going on. We've been talking about for the last week. And
Kickstarter.
there we are right now. We're at $1,114, 37 backers.
Yeah,
And this
only
is
13 away from the next stretch goal.
yep, Kevin's got it where 50 backers, you get an extra there's the next stretch goal. So you got 6 pins to choose from. And then that's the back of it, what the pins look like. So the nice little metal backs. And these are really cool. I've got a set here. I've got the 5 set here. Like that, and then you can add on the Poe purple head pin for $8 to when you get the set. And then, of course, we have digital copies of Poe available, and then the stretch goals. We've already hit the $1,000. Everybody gets the Raven sticker, and then we're trying to get to the 50 backers, so everybody can get the random 1.5-inch Poe button. So all artwork by Kevin Minert right there. So
I really love the one with the skull there, the split face with Poe and the skull.
Yeah, that's a cool one. That actually might have
That's
made a really cool pin. If we do another set of these pins, that might make a really
yeah,
cool pin.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
pretty spectacular. So loving that, and with how well this is doing, I will definitely be doing the pin set for Crimson Shadows as a Kickstarter.
Hmm.
We have 6 pins designed already by Kevin, but I'm gonna go big on it. Researching how enamel pins do. I'm gonna do the set of 6 that Kevin designed, and then I'm gonna take it up a notch and do another set of 6 of chibi designs.
Hmm.
I'm going to go down the dark path and go into chibi land. Everyone seems to love those. So I
Yep.
think I think Frankenstein as a chibi will be huge.
Yep. So here's what we got a bunch of stuff still available. Here's what's gone. Is the early bird
Yeah.
5-pin set is gone. Uh,
Whoa.
so those that got that, great. Glad y'all got into that. And there's also right now available an bird pin and sketch card, one left. You basically get your pick any one pen you want, and then you're going to get a random hand drawn sketch card by Kevin Minert. And it could be a Poe, it could be Batman, Hellboy, Spider-Man, or whatever. It'll be a surprise. So there's one of those left if you like to get some really cool artwork. And then there's the different pins available as a set. And then as the set, we do have 7 left of the regular pin option set, which doesn't include the extras the early birds got.
Right.
So.
Now, if we do sell out of the 5-pin set, first of all, if you get the 5-pin set and you want the 6th purple headed pin, you have to do that as an add-on. Mm-hmm. So get the 5-pin, do the add-on. However, if for some reason the 5-pin set sells out, you can still get them all as individual pins. They just won't be in the package deal. So buy one of them for $8, and then when you get to the add-on, you can add on the other 5.
Yep. So definitely check that out. We'll be talking more about that. You've got until a week from today. I believe 7 p.m. next Wednesday is when it'll end. Yep. And we'll probably do a little closing thing on online next week.
And tonight we'll be doing a live stream, correct?
No, because I'll be using it for the cardio drumming tonight.
We will not be doing a live stream tonight.
But if we want to do one tomorrow night, we can see if Kevin's available.
Yeah, if Kevin wants.
But yeah, I got it with using the StreamYard that we use for our show here, guys. I'm going to be using a thing for a group, and I don't know if we can run 2 different streams at the same time. Yeah. So,
although we will probably, will do a live stream from the Comic-Con this weekend. So.
Yes, so definitely watch for that. And then, of course, we have the new Bardstone and Odd Musings TikToks. So find us on TikTok, and we'll get you guys some links eventually to that stuff too.
Yeah. So with TikTok, I just created an Odd Musings page on TikTok. It's just Odd Musings, and so that's how you find us. We no podcast or anything after it. Just Odd Musings is our handle on TikTok. We don't have any videos formally posted yet, but I'm going to start uploading stuff over the next week here, maybe our intro video and some things like that. And then we're just going to post some funny content on there. We'll post maybe clips from our show if we have highlights. If we can get to 1,000 followers, then we'll actually live stream our podcast on TikTok. Yes. We'll be able to set it up to live stream. So that'll be another avenue. So if you go on there, if you're on TikTok, search Odd Musings, one word, and follow us. And we're going to start putting content there as well. So good stuff.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that. I got something I want to share real quick here. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Take just a minute here. Besides, we did the Poe thing. And come on. There you go. That's not it. Come on. There it is right there. So I'm going to share this page. And I have been doing shipped for 4 years, and I hit 7,500 shops this past week.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I may need to start doing shipped again. Winter is always the hard part is winter is the slower time of year for real estate. Yeah. And it's definitely the slower time of year for art and Comic-Cons and Kickstarter. So like every avenue of income I have slows down this time of year. So it's like, I might have to look at ship. I haven't done it in a couple of years, so they probably closed me out.
No, you probably, if you haven't got an official notification, I would go on. You can probably load your app up and see if you're still active.
Yeah,
they really don't deactivate anybody that hasn't done it. because they know some people will just pop in and out and they like that. It's fine, but it's been a big thing that's helped me out a lot. And I very average. I would have hit 7,500 sooner. When COVID hit, I went from averaging between 40 and 50 shops a week to about 30, mainly because the size of the shops, everybody was spending $300 to $400 on every order because
Right.
everybody was home. So the money they would have normally spent out was now coming in, used buy food for the home. So I was literally doing 8 orders a day the days I worked, and still working 12, 14 hours because it took forever to shop it, took forever to check out. I had to go deliver it. Delivery was easy. Nobody was on the road. Love that. And then and coming back. But yeah, I've worked really hard. My main thing was always been, and I tell some of the other shoppers I know, and they say, hey, that's great. That's awesome. It's a big contract. Stay consistent. I always set my schedule. I even got asked the other day by someone. She goes, "Do you schedule yourself?" I said, "Always. I always believe in scheduling. I always believe in being on the schedule. One, it opens up slots for our members to buy. Two is I treat it, I run it like a business, because it is technically a business. I'm a 1099 employee, so I run it like a business, but I treat myself as the employee, so I have to schedule myself. I don't want to play around with it because it is kind of my main source of income outside of trying to do everything else. So it's been a great thing for me, great thing for the people. I've got a lot of great clients and appreciate every single one of them. Made some that are we're very friendly with and talk to and stuff like that, and probably see a couple of them this weekend. Usually Debbie and Gary come out to the Comic-Con in Macomb. I gave them some free tickets, so looking forward to that. But yeah, and the cool thing was Shipt sent me a thing and they said you get $30 to spend in their shop. So I was able to get a new t-shirt, hat, and little pin that shows 75K. But then they also got me to choose a big gift, and the big gift I chose is a 65-inch TV with a sound bar.
Wow.
So they actually do bring a lot of stuff. I mean,
it's a nice
gift.
That's a nice gift. That's like a real gift.
Yeah, it was. And it was the options I had was kind of neat. They had a couple of refrigerators you could have chose from. They had an Amana washer dryer set, and it was the regular set. It wasn't like that little cheap small little stand one like you see in some apartments. It was a full size. It was their more entry level. It was actually, we have an Amana washer dryer, and it was the step down from ours, but not much of a step down. It's still the same thing, just didn't have a couple buttons we have. Then they had a higher end washer and a higher end dryer that you could choose one or the other. They even had a grill on there. Couple TV options. They had an iPad Pro on there, which was kind of neat. I already have an iPad, so I didn't need an iPad Pro. And then there's a Samsung tablet. So if I had need of some of that stuff, of all the stuff, I didn't need any of it. But I figured, well, I'll get a bigger TV, put that into the living room. Sound bar, I've already gotten a living room. I'll keep that, and I'll bring one into my sound bar, and then and then I'm going to move the TV from the living room to what I call my little game room area, because I just got a little tiny TV there. And so because we're trying to figure things out. I stay here with Mom, and it's one of the, she was like, well, you can put it in your room. I was like, yeah, I could. I mean, my TV up here is nice. It's been up there since 2009, still works. I got no problems with it. But I'm thinking, do I really want to I got a 40-inch in there. I can go to a 65-inch. I'm like, it's just a bedroom. It's not a big bedroom either. It's a 10 by 10 I'm sitting in here, guys. And
it's like the speakers that in Marty McFly has in the beginning of Back to the Future.
Yeah, so I give me this big giant TV in my room here and be like, okay, now watching TV and he's like blinded because it's like
it'll be so bright your neighbors will actually see an X-ray image of you through the wall.
Right. So, but yeah, I thought it was really cool to do that. And then next goal for me is 10,000 shops with them. I figure on the track I'm at, somewhere in the next 18 months.
Nice.
I should hit that, and then that thing could be a trip.
Sweet.
So I don't know what kind of trips yet, but we'll see. I'm kind of hoping for a Disney trip, but
that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I want to throw this up real quick. That's the QR code for our Odd Musings on TikTok. So if you're able to scan that, go for it. Or like I said, just search Odd Musings if you're in TikTok and unable to scan it. So that'll get you to our page.
I just tested it, so you can scan it right on the screen there.
There it goes.
I follow them back because they follow me. So but
so that'll be we'll try to get some traction on there, because here's the thing. I did a little experiment. And the reality is this, and the elephant in the room is everybody knows Facebook sucks. That's the reality. It sucks. And the reason is Mark Zuckerberg. He has decided he is smarter than everyone, and he wants to control your interactions. And here's a great example. So on TikTok, that headbanging one for Team Titans, right?
Mm-hmm.
The girl flips her head, hits her head. I posted that through TikTok on my Team Titans page. I only have like 110 followers, 108 followers, something like that on there. Within an hour or so, I had 80 views of that post.
Yeah.
I also posted it on my Facebook personal page as well as my Facebook independent page or Team Titans page. I have 4,100 followers there versus 100 on TikTok. So 80 views on TikTok, a whopping 15 views on Facebook. So how is it I have 4,100 followers in one avenue and have 15 views, 100 on the other and have 80 views?
Yeah.
It's because he's constantly they try to social they're trying this social construct thing where they limit certain people and promote certain people. Don't do that.
Yeah, and that's the thing we see here. I mean, we appreciate everybody who can watch us on Musings, but I know there are people that like never see our posts. They never see anything about it.
And we've been tracking our numbers, and Facebook
since day one. We've watched
what
them
it used to be
go down.
Yep.
And a lot of it is just the initial impressions is what's really gone down, because that means people are not seeing us initially.
Right.
And and for those that have been watching here, we're here. We've been uploading up me ending that pretty soon, just for the fact that we're not getting much on the audio side either.
Right.
So we're gonna stick with our video stuff here. I think you guys that watch us enjoy us for this, and we'll keep doing that.
So help us get to help us get to 1,000 followers on TikTok, because the live streams are very good on TikTok. They get a lot of reaction, and the interaction is really good. You get live interaction with the fans. So that's what our goal is we don't want to get rid of this. We're not saying that, but we want it in addition to, just to have another outlet for the experience. We're also talking about maybe, when maybe do like more up to the minute movie reviews through TikTok and things like that, where we can invite each other onto each other's stream and talk about it. So those are some of the plans we have in the works. Everything is always in motion.
Yep. So, but we'll still be doing our hour show a week because it's fun and we enjoy it, and it's a good outlet for, I think, us personally. So, just sit and BS around stuff. So
it's my mental thing there. Recovery.
All right. Yeah. So now I did not get a chance to see Uncharted, or what was the other one that you mentioned?
Death on the Nile.
Death on the Nile. I definitely want to see both. So if you want to go ahead and give your spoiler-free reviews.
Okay, so let's start with Uncharted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pull up the Rotten Tomatoes. I think the Rotten Tomato, it's a very interesting thing here that's happening. The critics are giving it 40%. The audience is giving it 90%. I have to say, I was very underwhelmed in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I can't put my finger on it. All the elements are there. The actors are good. The scenarios, the action, the special effects. But to me, it's lacking life. And something is missing. Like the chemistry. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. From reading a lot of posts, I feel like the vast majority of people who are oohing and awing over it are teenage girls who are just oohing over Tom Holland. I don't think it's about the movie itself, but I could be wrong. It's an action movie. It is what it is, but it's a 2-hour long action movie that felt 3 hours, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. If you're a fan of the Uncharted,
I think I figured out what it is.
What?
It's this. There's no Rock and no Kevin Hart as the Rock.
That could be it. That could be it. That could be it.
I still want to go see it though, and I plan on seeing it. So
yeah, definitely see it. It's like I said, I am curious to get your take on it. It's on paper, I should love it.
Yeah,
but I was just like, I'm giving it in the middle. Average out those two scores, the 40% and 90%. I didn't think it was a 40%.
Yeah,
I'd probably say this was
the trailer 60. Itself was not necessarily great. I liked what I saw, and I still want to see it and all that stuff. It's based on a video game, and it reminded me though, from the trailer alone, of like some other movies, like even like the Rock's movie,
yes,
Runaway. Fool's Gold from Matthew McConaughey. It's going to have those type of action
Right.
type feels to it. And I think it's we're seeing Tom Holland do something a little different, but still staying within an action
Yeah.
type thing from what he's been doing in the MCU.
Right. But
So
they all did a good job. That's
yeah.
the thing. I'm thinking it's the writing, maybe.
And that's the hardest part with translating a video game to
Yeah.
a movie. I've not been blown away by any of those movies at all, but I've
Right.
enjoyed some of those. I enjoyed
Right.
the first two Lara Croft ones. Um, I didn't enjoy this last one. I tried to watch it. I had to shut it off 5
Yeah.
minutes because the girl was just way too flat. She was had no range. She was just boring. And, and there's been a few others here and there that popped up that have been okay. And most fail, though. And I think reason is you could tell a better elaborate story as a video game when someone's playing it because they're doing the action and it's doing stuff versus trying to tell that story in an hour and a half to 2 hour movie.
And in that sense, it definitely was a video game movie. Like you could tell, like, okay, this is the play sequence. It's the action sequence. And they had some really cool stuff going on. I mean, there was a lot going on, but it almost felt, it felt like you were jumping movie to movie. It's like, oh, here's the Goonies scene where they find the ship, and oh, now we're getting into the Fast and the Furious scene, and something was lacking, and I don't know what it is. It wasn't a bad movie. I would just say either if you have a free ticket or a matinee, maybe go see it, or if you could wait for
I was going to try to go see it last night. I just had too much going on with this week because everything. But I want to go. I might try next Tuesday because it's Popcorn Tuesday at the local theater I go to, and I get free popcorn, and that always makes any movie better.
Oh, definitely, definitely. So I'm not saying it's a horrible movie at all. I'm just saying for me, I liked all the individual elements. It's just something was missing in bringing it together, and I can't put my finger on it. So I gave it a C- overall. So there's that one.
Yeah.
And
now you said you saw Death on the Nile. I had a friend of mine see that, and when I talked to her about it, she really enjoyed it. Now she didn't really know the story, so she didn't remember the original movies and never read the books because they're based on the Agatha Christie books. I love the trailer on this one. I like the way it looks visually and stuff like that. She really enjoyed it. She liked the ending, the twist. If you don't know the story, there's how the ending goes, and so she felt that it kept her engaged through the whole thing. So
yeah, I disagree. I completely had the whole movie figured out within. Let's see, it's 2 hours long roughly, so probably in the first 45 minutes. I suspected the ending in the first opening scene, and around the 45 minute mark, I'm like, okay, I know what's going on, and I was 100% right on what the twist was. The only thing I got wrong was the exact murder weapon. I thought it was going to be a different murder weapon. So,
so it wasn't the Colonel Mustard with the candlestick.
Yeah, I thought they were going to use a candlestick, and they used the dagger instead. I found this to be insanely predictable. I saw the Orient Express one, Murder on the Orient Express.
I like that one.
Yeah, this is the sequel. I really like that one. And maybe I'm not remembering it right, though, but I really enjoyed that one. It was more funny, if I remember right.
I thought it had a little more humor in it. So
this one seems.
Did Kenneth Branagh do the first one?
I thought he did, but this one was more of a serious take, which really slowed it down. I think, like I said, it's been a while since I saw the other one, but I want to say the other one had more humor to it, and maybe because Josh Gad was in it, and some other people like that. But this one was drier. Once again, I love Kenneth.
Kenneth Branagh did it, and I'm wondering if it was the same writer. See, the first one was written by Michael Green, but it could also be just the story itself. I mean, from the novelization, it could be very, very dry. So
it wasn't a bad movie. Yeah, for me, it was I don't like figuring out the entire movie in the first half hour, and then
and he did do the screenplay for this one too. He also did the screenplay for Jungle Cruise,
Okay,
So
like
staying
Jungle
right on
Cruise,
it.
I really liked.
And he did Alien Covenant, Logan. He's done a few things I've liked, a few things I haven't.
Yeah,
I think a lot of it has to do with the source material, probably.
it could
Um,
be.
and
That could be it.
Murder on the Orient Express has always been the premier one that everybody goes to for Agatha Christie. I've seen some stuff on Death on the Nile, but maybe that's the reason. I'd have to go back and, if you read both books, see how they felt that way too. And it could be
Do-
really in the novelization translation.
It could be. Once again, Gal Gadot was great and stuff.
Mhm.
Do you know, are the books actually sequels of each other in real
I
life, or are they completely separate books that they've brought together in through the
I
movies?
well, they have the same. They both use Perot, don't they?
Do they? I don't know. I don't know anything about the
Um,
books
Let me pull them
themselves.
up real quick here. She is, of course, Agatha Christie is the world's best-selling author. Uh, so let's see here. I mean, all her stuff's been
Yeah.
translated into different stuff over things. So, but
As far as the movie goes, though, I thought it was good. I just, for me, I felt they telegraphed a little too strongly certain parts, and for me, there was no twist. It was very predictable.
yeah,
Other than that, though, if you don't pick up on those clues early on, I think this is a more enjoyable movie. I can see how it could be a cool twist, but for
Hercule Poirot is the detective
okay.
guy. So in logical reading order, for the series, she's got a bunch of them. I mean, she's got 42 books.
With that character.
So I mean, it's with that character. So Death
Wow.
on the Nile falls in the middle. Like,
Okay.
yeah, it was the 22nd book, and then
Oh, excuse me.
Murder.
I
Let's
am
see here.
I am curious
Go ahead.
too how if they strayed from the novel, because I don't know the novel, but what I
Yeah.
can tell you, what had really annoyed me about this movie is
Mhm.
it's taken place in 1937s, but the views and the I'm trying to say this in a politically correct way. A lot of today's modern viewpoints on certain topics are injected into this movie
Well, see,
heavily.
and that can
And
take away from a historical piece. So
it's supposed to be 1937 it's taking place, and I'm watching this going, there is no way that would happen. There is no way those people would be doing the sensibilities are different in 1937, and they apply 2020 sensibilities to 1937 characters, and that really bugged me a lot.
yeah.
If you're going to do a 1937 piece, it's okay to I don't like this revisionist crap and trying to make it sound like this is how people thought back then. So that part
Well,
annoyed me.
and that is, I agree with that. You constantly hear that they say, "Oh no, this is really what they thought." They were just afraid to say it. No, most
Yeah.
people weren't. I mean, they just didn't think that way, or they didn't think the way that we voice it now. So, and to inject it into something that didn't have it in the first place, I think is
Yeah.
always thing. And probably sometimes they have rights to do these things. So, but the original paperback, came out. It was this one's came much later from the Murder on the Orient Express. So it could be at this point in her writing, which is, this is like 10 books later, she was just cranking it out just to make money. So,
Oh, could be. Could be.
and
Now, I will say, I think I would have liked this movie far more if they made the exact movie, but set it in modern times and just make it a modern day retelling of the book. Then the way people were thinking and acting and how they were talking
Mhm.
in the movie, to me, would make more sense.
Right.
It just felt very out of place for being 1937.
Yeah, and that might be where it fails at that point, and that's
Yeah.
something that
So
happens. Like, that's the whole thing with some of the current movie making is they want to modernize the history,
yeah,
and you can't. You need to keep it within that time. I mean,
yeah,
if it's and I personally, with any novelization being made to a film, I'd like them to actually follow the books more than try to create
yeah.
something new. Like, well, if I'd done it, if it had been me doing it, this would no, you wouldn't have because you weren't alive back then.
Right.
And if when this book was written back then, it should be treated with that respect. So
Now, what's interesting is looking at this through Rotten Tomatoes is, so you compare this to Uncharted.
Mm-hmm.
For me, if I looking at the two movies, I think I would have rather see Uncharted if I could only choose one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that said, score wise, I give them about the same score. They're about equal. They're pretty close. It's just
Yeah.
one is more serious but predictable. The other one is, I don't know. It's but looking at this, saying what I'm saying about this and seeing how the critics are, the critics had a very low score on Uncharted, and that
Mm-hmm.
they have 64% on this one, which I think goes to the revisionism that's happening in this movie.
Well, critics themselves also rate films like this, which are kind of, I would consider a highbrow type of film.
Yes.
Oh, this is a film. This is actually true
Yeah.
filmmaking. Where Uncharted is just that
Yeah.
drivel that they do to
See,
get kids to come to the movies. So
now you just said something that just triggered a thought in me.
yeah.
That I think might be the problem with Death on the Nile right there. Now I had problems with the revisionists. They took themselves too seriously. They're seeing, I think that's what it is. They're this should have had a little more comedy in it, I think, just to break it up. Almost like Marvel level comedy where,
Yeah.
you have serious moments, because I think it was too level in emotion or in tone. And sometimes that when you have those lighthearted moments, it adds to the deeper moments because
Okay.
it takes you on the emotional roller coaster ride. And I think that might be the problem. Now that you say that, I think they were trying to be more serious, to be more highbrow, even though, but the characters and everything were more caricatures. So I think they should have been a little bit more funny.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's my take. Love it, hate it, whatever you guys want. To me, they're both mediocre films that are fine if you have nothing to do. Go see a matinee of it, wait for it to be free on streaming, whatever you want. But I just, neither one of them, I would say, hey, go on a Saturday night and pay $13 a ticket. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, and that's the thing is unfortunately, movies are kind of like that, and they try to be more. I think it's where Will Smith has been trying for years to get an Oscar, and all the movies they thought would get nominated, I didn't like. I personally, and I like him, but when I watch these movies, like the writing was bad, they were too dry, they were trying to be too dramatic, and the thing is, this is and Oscars, of course, I don't care for anymore because they don't really care. They don't care about filmmaking. They've got their own agendas. Um, but it's if you truly want to have a good movie that people are going to really revel for years and years, try to make a good movie and don't think of the award aspect of any of this stuff, or this is going to be something that's just going to be reveled. No, you do it because you want to make a great movie, and then they become something better. Because most people that love certain movies were movies that were really a lot of times not meant to be even watched to this day. Even like It's a Wonderful Life, they threw that one away. They showed that in July in the theaters, and then it didn't pop up again until it started popping on TV. And when it went to the public domain, then people actually got to watch it and like, oh, this is actually a good movie, and it grew an audience. So another show something I've been watching outside of the theater since I've been home is episodes of the Cuphead show. That's on Netflix. It's a new animated show based on the video game. And actually, this is where certain video games can be translated well. Is do like if they're animated, do like an animated show, stuff like that. It's got that old classic 30s style feel of animation, with a little modern twist to it, of course, updates, stuff like that.
It reminds me of like the Steamboat Willie
Yeah,
type
if you
of animation.
it's the old like Disney Warner Brothers early 30s style feel to it, where everything's alive, everything bounces, everything smiles, different things like that. And it's definitely got a little I would say not full adult, but there's a little things that could be a little more off-putting for younger kids, but
Which those
nothing really
older
bad.
style
So
animations did.
yes, but I really enjoyed the first couple episodes so far. When we did the 2019 when we were at San Diego Comic-Con, I actually got a poster. I've got it here somewhere, signed by two of the creators for the series. They were doing free signing, so I happened to pop in and get one nice little 11 by 17 print, and I was like, "Well, this is cool." And then forgot all about it until it popped up on Netflix. So I was like, "This is cool," and definitely enjoyed that. And then they have this new thing on Netflix I tried too. They're putting these new interactive games, but it was like a cartoon with this cat and a dog. I did the first couple minutes. I didn't care for the interaction part. It kind of sucked. You have to answer trivia questions real quick. I was like, okay, this sucks. This is not what if I want an interactive thing on a movie or a show, I want to be able to choose different things and not have to answer trivia questions to see if just so it continues the stupid show. So, but that's the other thing I watched on Netflix that I'll talk about right now. But you got something you want to share?
Yeah, let me zoom in here. Hold on, I'm enlarging the screen. Well, I guess I can put it up while I'm enlarging.
Okay.
They revealed 18 character posters for the new Fantastic Beasts movie, which is
Yes.
pretty exciting stuff. So let me see if I can there we go. That's better.
Yeah.
Okay, so in these 18 posters, we're getting our first real look at a lot of these characters that are in the movie. So we've got good old Newt over here, which I still think would be an excellent Doctor Who choice. I think that actor would be perfect as a Doctor Who.
Yeah,
Little bit of
if he had the inclination of actually being Doctor Who, I think he would do a fantastic job.
yeah, I think he'd be great.
So I think
yeah, we got Jude Law as Dumbledore. They got the beard coming down a little bit more here, so that's cool. And then this is the I think going back, he would have been a great. Oh God, the Grindelwald, Crimes of Grindelwald.
Grindelwald, yeah. Well, he plays Grindelwald,
right? But he would have been great from the beginning. But they had Johnny Depp for the first two movies.
Well, they had it was Colin Farrell. Then he became Johnny Depp, and then Johnny Depp did the second movie.
No, well, Colin Farrell was the disguise. At the end of the movie, they reveal it's Johnny Depp is Grindelwald.
Right.
He had like a
polyjuice potion they didn't change. Yeah, he was doing polyjuice or whatever, and
right.
So, but we've actually had now. This will be the third actor to play the same character.
Well, yeah,
technically, but
but Colin Farrell was the disguise.
Right. No, and I understand that. I'm saying that, but
right. But my point being, Johnny Depp was pulled out of that role because of the whole Amber Heard scandal.
Which we now know is false.
Yeah, she was a liar. She was actually the assaulter, and Johnny Depp was actually the victim. And it just gets me mad that the knee-jerk cancel culture pulled Johnny Depp from the role and recast him. Now, I do agree. I think this would have been our better casting from the beginning anyways, but it's not right that, here it is. Turns out he was completely innocent, but they still kept him out of the movie.
Yeah.
That kind of bugs me. But
with that said, they did start filming it and working on it without him prior to all of that coming to light. I didn't agree with him being canceled in the first place, but
that's my point. They did that. Knee-jerked reaction pulled him.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, though, I think he's going to be a fantastic Grindelwald. He played Hannibal Lecter in the series for Silence of the Lambs. There, I think it was just called Hannibal, wasn't it?
Yes.
And he also created the Death Star. He was he was the dad to God. I can't think of people's names anymore.
Jyn Erso.
Jyn Erso, yes. Galen Erso was him. Yep. Sidebar note: his brother is going to be playing Thrawn in the live-action version of Thrawn in Star Wars. He does the voice of him, so that's cool too. So we got some other castings here. Is that a new character on the left here?
No, that is, I believe that's Queenie.
Is it? Oh, wow. Yep. She looks different. Yep. I think you're right, though. Now I look closer.
That's Queenie. And then we've got the, what's his name? It's kind of the Obscura.
Yeah. While I enjoy the Fantastic Beasts movies, their characters are not nearly as memorable. Like, I don't know half these people's names anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's also been a few years since the last one, so that kind of.
Well, for me, it's been 2 nights since the last one because we rewatched it. Most people don't know their names, but there's the Flash, Ezra Miller. He grew his hair out, which actually I think he looks much cooler with the hair down like that.
Yeah. Got Jacob,
the human, the non-Madge as they call him.
No-Madge, yeah. And I've met him a couple times in real life. He's great to me. Yeah. He's really personable and loves the fans and they've got him looking like this. Last time I met him, which was 3 years ago in San Diego, he lost a ton of weight. So I think they've got a little bit more makeup to chubby him up a little bit still.
Yeah, I wonder if they put a fat suit on him because he lost a ton of weight. It was like they didn't even know it was him.
Yeah, I'd have to find the picture. I'll have to do that and share it on here. So,
but here he looks exactly the same as he did in the previous movies.
Right.
We got the brother Percy, Percival, I think is his name, of our main guy here, Newt.
Mhm.
I think this is McGonagall. I think this is a young McGonagall.
It could
But
be. Now
I
they
could
introduced McGonagall in the thing, and there's been always some speculation that it would have been she wouldn't have been. She's not that old, and she shouldn't have been back then working at the
Mhm.
school. But that could also
they
be a time turner thing.
well, they definitely had her working at the end of
Well,
the second
they
movie,
called her McGonagall,
right?
and
Or it
that.
could have been a mom.
But yeah, see, they never fully said which McGonagall, so we'll
Yeah,
have to see.
so it could be her mother,
Yeah,
but the last name was McGonagall. So I think this is playing that McGonagall character that was in the second movie.
yeah.
Not sure who this one is.
No, he's a new. I think he's a new character for this.
New character.
Yeah, I think a few of
Uh,
these are gonna be a lot of new characters. So
yeah, like I don't recognize
don't know
any
any of
of
those.
these.
No.
To me, this is a
Now, if that's not
Lestrange.
McGonagall, that could be Queenie's sister that we went over too, and they just got her looking a little different there, but
Could be.
because she should be in this too.
Yep.
So, yeah, these are a lot of new characters that I don't recognize,
Yeah, I
or
don't know.
if they were in it, I just don't remember. Because I'll have to go back and watch them. Of course, you've got to have the two creatures there; those are very vital to Newt.
What's weird is these are character posters, but like when you look at these characters, they look fine. They
Yeah,
look normal. Okay. But then you get down to these characters. Some funky, like it's not like right. The eyes, they look animated or like these
well,
are like
they're probably not using actual stills from the movie, and they were given stills from of who they
maybe.
were, so they had to recreate. So this is what you need to recreate to match the others.
To me,
So
this looks like it'd be a young Weasley, the dad for the Weasleys.
possibly, I mean, I don't,
Looks like some red hair. Could be a
yeah,
Weasley, but
yeah, I don't know how old he would have been because during the Harry Potter years for the books take place in the 90s.
yeah,
So if he was, with it, he's got older kids, so he's probably in his
yeah,
50s at least. So at that point, you're going back to the
yeah.
30s. I mean, depending on where he's at.
Well,
I mean,
that's
so
where these could totally be
and of course
grandparents.
with the wizarding families, though, wizarding people do live longer. They've
Mhm.
established that through the movies that some people are without using anything, they still live to be a couple hundred years old. So
But even with like the Lestranges and stuff, it's like they're doing like the generation before, so these could easily be grandparents.
yeah,
So
so
I'll be curious to see.
oh, here's a list right there. You get a whole list of people right there. Scroll down,
Oh,
scroll
down
down,
here.
scroll
There
down,
we go.
stop. And here's it. Scroll up just a little bit so I can read it.
There we go.
So there we go. So right there, you got Redmayne as Scamander, Law as Dumbledore, Mickelson as Grindelwald. You got Alison Sudol as Queenie, Ezra Miller
Queenie.
as Credence,
That's his name.
Dan Fogler as Jacob. You got Callum Turner as DC as Scamander, so that's the brother.
I thought it was. Oh, I thought they were saying
Perseus, yeah.
Perseus.
Yeah, Victoria Yates as Bunty, William Nadlam as Yusuf Kama, Poppy Corby as, and again, these are all new characters.
Yeah, I don't know these
Candido,
names.
David Wong as Victoria said, David Wong as Lu Tao, Jessica Williams as Lily Hicks, Oliver's. So
Oh,
I don't see the other sister. Yeah, it's Aberforth. That's who that is.
Aberforth.
So we are gonna get some more Dumbledore stuff, and then Alexander Kuznetsov as Helmut Weiss, and then the two favorite beasts, Teddy the Niffler and Pickett the Bowtruckle.
Okay.
And of course, Newfound Love, Tina Goldstein, didn't get a poster of her own. That's Catherine Waterston. That's the sister to Queenie. So that's interesting. She didn't get one, but of course, they
Wait,
may reveal more later.
Newfound Love. So
Well,
I assumed he'd be with what's her name? That was in the first two movies.
isn't that the same one though? I thought it was. Let me see here.
Wasn't it? Yeah, Catherine. Okay. When they say newfound love, I thought it meant a new character.
Well, they were not together in the second one,
Right.
At the start, and then they got. Yeah, she plays
They
Porpetina.
knew as in a newly formed official relationship, even though they liked each other through the first two movies. They
Finally. Yeah.
Catherine.
So I'm wondering the reason she didn't get a poster is, and it could be they're going to release more posters down the road.
Yep,
So,
I just looked up the actress, so that is her from the.
yeah, so did I. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was Queenie was her sister, and then Queenie went off to be with Grindelwald and his group.
Yeah.
So, and then her sister is an Auror from America, and so she is gonna try to get her some. Well, the other thing I've been watching here, and this is because Kevin recommended, and I've actually been laughing through the whole thing, and I feel bad for Pam Anderson on this, but I've been watching the Pam and Tommy show on Hulu, And the only
Is
thing that's
that
funny about this is that's Sebastian Stan.
that's the actual actors there, huh?
Yeah.
They look just like, especially she looks just like Pam in that
Oh,
shot there.
she is to me. She I feel like she really fully embodied, and she's an English actress. Lily James is, and I think in her own right, she's a beautiful woman. Just outside of not dressed with, but they got her in a full body suit for the nude scenes. It's not any of her actual body, and then they've got him in a bodysuit as well. The only thing with Sebastian Stan playing Tommy Lee is he's not as tall as Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee is like 6'2.5",
Right.
and Sebastian Stan is like 5'8", and you see and his stays with her. I mean, you can see that they've done their best. He's got the tats. He walks around through half the show in just a thong underwear with a giant package in there. They do show it, so this is not for kids at all. And he's put out a statement saying, "Just so you know, that's not really me." And I started watching it strictly because Kevin's telling me about it. He's like, they watch the first couple. It comes out once a week. The new one's out, and the second episode, his famous member talks back to him.
Wow.
And they show it.
Is it in a drug induced haze or something?
No, he's looking at himself in the mirror and he's trying to decide to get with Pam Anderson, officially. They just all 4 days when they met. It was like real quick. And he's gonna marry her, and the thing's talking to say, "Hey, we're newly single, and there's all these women out there," and the thing's looking up at him. I was like, wow, and it was just hilarious. And of course, and then the first time she sees him new, he goes, "Do you want to see it?" I mean, he's obviously
Well, you got to also remember who this is.
Yeah.
They are part of, he was part of one of the world's largest rock and roll bands.
As Kevin just messaged, he said, "It's a train wreck in all the right recent ways."
Yeah.
It really is. And the thing about this is I'm watching this, and as it goes on, Tommy Lee really was the dick in this, and it's not being a pun intended there. It's just because he was a complete jerk. And you watch her, and she was just in a lot of ways, a lot of these actors in the 90s, stuff like that, like, "Oh, he's hot. I want her friends are telling when they first meet you, he's a bad boy. You just got away from a bad boy, whatever. Yeah. And she's been linked to others for a while there, and has since then. And she ends up hooking up with him, and they get married, and it's that whole like, "Oh my God, I'm in love," and being two rich people at the time, it's what they did. But as it went on with the whole tape thing, you kind of feel bad for her because like nobody really cares about her feelings.
No, they didn't. To be honest, I don't think she cared about her own feelings. That's why she jumped guy to guy, and she ended up with Kid Rock for a short time. That didn't last. I mean, she just was jumping
without knowing her personally. It was seeing the stuff I see on this is you see a person that's definitely got issues.
Oh, she definitely does,
and stuff like that. And like I said, and I feel bad watching it, but outside of that, looking at this as if it was a fictional, and most of it I think is fictional account of what happened, there's a lot of humor, a lot of ridiculous stuff, and it's something that I can't binge it. I've watched it over a couple here, a couple there, and I was like, okay. And there's a new episode I think today that dropped, and I'll watch it whenever I watch it. But it's like the Seth Rogen stuff, which he actually executive produced it, is interesting, and because he plays the guy that supposedly stole it, but they fictionalized how that was. The original stuff. They said it was an electrician or something that just stole the tape, and he actually steals the entire safe with the like guns and money and everything else. But it's because Tommy Lee wouldn't let him take his tools and fired him and didn't pay him. Yeah. And you can see the look on her face when they're telling and this is kind of a spoiler in the middle. They're telling the detective guy that Tommy knows is going to go after me, and he's like a gangster type guy, and he's like admitting it. He goes, "Yeah, screw that guy. I didn't pay him. He's not getting nothing. He didn't do," and the look on her face is like, "You didn't pay him. You didn't do," and like the cause of all this really was because Tommy was a dick.
He was, yeah. Here, I'm going to show this too.
Yeah.
This is from Vanity Fair. They really got the looks down though. I mean, look at this. You would think this was Pam Anderson right there. Look at that.
Yeah, no, she definitely looks as close as you can get to that. And I think she's doing a fantastic job.
That really is Pam Anderson.
Yeah,
that's insane. And then
she's got the voice down. She's everything else. He's I think he's doing as good a job as anybody can to be Tommy Lee. He's just not as tall. Where in the movie The Dirt, I really felt like was a Machine Gun Kelly played Tommy Lee there. did a good job in embodying the Tommy Lee they want to portray there. But yeah,
Right.
he's through almost all. You see him like dressed like that. No, through most of it, he's just wearing these little thongs that go up his butt, and
And that's how he was.
yeah,
That's how Tommy Lee was.
yeah.
You know,
So
they were part of the biggest band in the world at the time. Here's just to give you an idea, you know, why
mhm.
part of the contributing factor to Tommy being such a jerk is just they got everything they wanted, no matter what they did. There was an interview I saw with them where they were talking about they were on the road so much doing concerts, and just every woman in the world wanted to sleep with all of them, and they were getting bored with it. So they actually did a bet with each other. They did like an office pool amongst the
Mhm.
band on how long can they go without showering before women will stop wanting to be with them. They went months, night after night, being with everybody under the sun, not washing, doing concert after concert, sweating to death, being nasty. They had to stop the bet because they were grossing themselves out so bad. Now, these aren't like people who live
Yeah.
in unbelievable hygiene. They gross themselves out, and women still weren't
Yeah.
stopping. So they had to cancel the bet.
Yeah. Well, and the thing too is when all this stuff was taking place though for this series, this was the waning years of Motley Crue.
Right.
The big thing he likes to tell is like, oh yeah, I sold 100 million albums, but not, you're seeing through most of this is while they're in the studio, they show a couple scenes where they're all in the studio together. They get booted out of the studio for Third Eye Blind. They were supposed to be in Studio A. Well, guess what? The same record company booked Third Eye Blind for 6 weeks or whatever in Studio A and booted them to the small Studio B,
Yeah.
and that pissed them all off. But at the same time, they weren't doing it. In the 90s. They weren't able to come on then because grunge music was hot right then.
Yeah.
The music had changed. Nobody was into the hair metal. It would take years for it to come back around where people got back into the metal again. But even then, you know, they're not showing Tommy the stuff he did afterwards. I mean, he went on to create a couple new bands, do some different stuff. But he was also at this point where he's got just had gobs of money, and you know they were telling the reason what he's doing is he's remodeling his house when all this was going on, and they got together and building a new bedroom and kept changing stuff and costing more money. He didn't care what it cost, but he wasn't giving them the money he was supposed to give them to cover everything. So they were both the people that they were showing at the beginning with Seth Rogen and this other guy. They were out like $25,000 just on the
Yeah.
initial onset of stuff. So
And here's the sad part: between when grunge took over and when they were popular to when they came back, the
yeah.
before and after. But let's be honest, that's us too.
Well, yeah, I mean,
You
shoot,
know,
they're all pushing almost 60 now.
it's easy to pick on Vince Neil because of the obvious change in body, but
Yeah.
I looked much different in the late 80s than I do
Well,
now
see,
too.
what you see on the left is the barely eating, drinking all the time, doing tons of drugs, hooking up with every woman. And what you see on the right is, you know, after even a couple marriages, he finally actually settled down and had kids,
Oh yeah.
and and it's like, oh, okay,
Well, I think there was a probably reality too is there's probably like a solid 10 to 15, maybe even 20-year period of depression between
Mhm.
these two because you start realizing, okay, I have surpassed the peak of my life. I will never do anything as good as what I did. But then rock started coming around and they could do tours again. And so
Mhm.
there's probably some heavy years in between these two that some comfort
I
eating.
think a lot of them didn't think they were going to make it. I mean,
Oh yeah.
is it Mick Mars? He's been
Oh,
sick.
I think Mick Mars actually died 20 years ago, and they just made him. They hired Disney to make him into an animatronic.
Yeah, but I know he's had some serious health issues,
No, he really
and
did.
they weren't sure they were going to come on that last tour before COVID hit. But now seems to be. They said he seems to be okay, last I saw. So he's going to come over. He's also older than the others. He's been around because he was around doing as a filling in studios for a long time.
Yeah.
So and and then Nikki Six, don't know how he's still alive. As much stuff as he shot up his arm. I mean, he's got to have.
I think that's true of the whole band. I mean, it's
Yeah.
insane the way they lived.
Yeah, I think Nikki Six he's got to be somehow genetically related,
to
to
Keith
Keith
Richards.
Richards. Yeah, because I mean he's it's gonna be like Keith Richards and Nikki Six will be, and the Roaches, and they go. I bet we could snort them. But yeah, I mean, if you're a Motley Crue fan, I recommend the Dirt movie. It's based on their book, which there's truth, and then there's definitely a fictionalization about it. It was actually kind of funny in a lot of ways. They did not show the bet with them not bathing and stuff like that, but they definitely implied how many women they were sleeping with through all that time. But that was the 80s. Rock stars. I mean, it's all you ever heard was every city they went into. They even did it in the movie Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg. Every city they were in, the women were lined up outside the hotel rooms just to get in, and they could just have as many as they wanted.
Yep. So, now this is a weird thing. I never noticed this. Here.
Yeah.
Let's get here. So Tommy Lee then and now.
Yeah.
Look at the now. Is he turning into Mr. Heckles from Friends? What's that actor's name? Larry Hankin? Give him silver hair. He's Larry Hankin.
Yeah.
Who almost was on our show.
Yeah.
Isn't he turning into him?
A little bit, yeah. He's definitely looks a little rough in that. But I had to read up on him. I was like, okay, what's going on with Tommy Lee and all this? Because I haven't heard anything in years, other than once in a while the tour stuff like that. And he's remarried again for the last couple of years and stuff like that. But everything it looks like he's still the same person. It's so he's kind of just yeah.
Put black hair on him and some facial hair. It's Tommy Lee.
Well, I think you need to do a side-by-side TikTok on that one.
I think so. Conspiracy theory.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's at the Pam and Tommy thing. It's kind of interesting. I think Sebastian Stan and Lily James are doing a fantastic job. They both have really embodied who these people are meant to be and who they're meant to be seen. Yeah. Yeah, a quote from Kevin here, sending messages in here is like, "Never leave your girlfriend alone with Motley Crue. Motley Crue will F your girlfriend." That is true.
I think it goes with your pet too.
Yeah.
Don't leave your pet with them.
Jeez. Yeah, but yeah, so it's one of the things. If you're interested in stuff like that, I wasn't as interested into it until I watched the first couple episodes and I kind of laughed. And I've watched it, and it's one of the things where I will probably, after I get through these, I will never revisit it again.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see on that. And main thing, I think I literally half the time I'm looking and just mainly Lily James is how good she is. Having seen her in other movies and stuff like that. And I think she's a great actress. I think she's very attractive in her natural self state. But to see her doing this and to see her embody this character that they've created of the Pamela Lee and Anderson Lee that and really do a good job with it.
So Sebastian Stan as Tommy Lee, do you completely forget that he's the Winter Soldier?
No. I see Sebastian Stan a lot with him. But he looks like what was he? He was in some movie where he played a dick as a preppy dick in some show a while back, several years ago when he's getting started. On
21 Jump Street?
No, might have been that, but it did something else too. Let me pull up his movies real quick, see if I remember it. But he's been around quite a bit on different things. But I forget what it was. It was Hot Tub Time Machine. That's what it was. He played one of the ski guy. He played the ski guy in Hot Tub Time Machine. That was the head of the ski patrol guys that hated the one guy that was part of the main group of the guys that time traveled back, and he thought they were Russians and that. And he was so I see that character as Tommy Lee playing Tommy Lee more than Sebastian Stan. So.
When I saw the picture of him as Tommy Lee, it made me think of that. Remember Richard Greco?
Yeah, actually, that's funny. I just watched. I picked it up on DVD because I had seen it a long time. It was If Looks Could Kill, and he was in 21 Jump Street before that. But Looks Could Kill came out in '91, and he was like 30, playing a high school student that goes to France. They mistake him as his name's Michael Corbin. And they mistake him as the super spy Michael Corbin, and he takes on the bad guys in that. So, and it makes no sense how he gets all this out and survives. But yeah, he does remind me of Richard Grieco. Could have played this role. Yeah, 25, 30 years ago.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, there you have it.
So join us next week. We'll get you guys an update on the Poe. Don't forget the Poe thing on Kickstarter. We've got the pins available for another week. We'll do a video update for you by next week for sure, but definitely check that out. And this weekend is the Great Lakes Comic Con, or Great Comic Expo. Can't call them Comic Cons anymore. And so come on out to the Macomb Community College, their sports center, and we'll be there. I think tickets are only like $10-15 to get in, so it's not very bad.
It's a great show, and if you're not, it's a great beginner show. Like if you're not familiar with comic book conventions and you just want to go test the waters, it's a nice starter show. There's a good turnout. Great representation of artists, publishers, vendors.
And while there is people from out of states, a lot of Michigan talent, but we've got some people like our buddy Corey from Illinois, a few people that come up. So definitely come check it out.
And we got to give a shout out to Mike DeSantis, who puts this together. He does a phenomenal show every year.
I've been doing these shows for, it's been, I think 10 years or so. And they started small. And
I think 12 years now.
12 years. It's been a long time.
Wasn't this a show early on? It was like, it was in a different building on the campus, and it was like second floor.
Yeah, he was doing these ones in VFW halls, and then he had another other place he found. He did a smaller show, and we wanted to go a little bit bigger. The first one was at the Student Union on campus, and then they moved to the sports thing. And then
I remember when I was there.
Yeah, he went from being a one-day show to a preview night so that we could get better guests at different times. I mean, stuff like that. So. He does a phenomenal job. Mike's done a great job. His wife Amy helps him out with that. They've got some other family that helps out, and they've done fantastic with it. And I enjoy being there every year. And as long as it fits the schedule, I will always try to be there for the February show because it's always fun.
Yeah, and he's one of the good ones in the industry. So
and he cares about the fans coming in as well as the people set up, and not just trying to make a buck in the end. So
I think what's cool about him is he is also a fan, but he's also a vendor. Like he does buy and sell comic books.
Yes.
But he's also a big fan. He's also a promoter. So he has a unique view where he's seeing it from all angles, and he tries very hard to give the best experience to all. He wants us as vendors and artists to do well. He wants the fans to enjoy it. He wants his guests to enjoy it. And he tries to bring in different guests, not the ones that you've seen at 20 other shows in a row. He'll do like a theme thing. Like I remember when he did Land of the Lost, and he brought in all the people from Land of the Lost, and so he'll kind of have a theme type thing sometimes.
Well, the one a couple of years ago was he brought in some of the original male actors from Sesame Street, and I got to see Carol Spinney. Yeah. So, and then he also had the guy that was on Mr. McFeely from Mr. Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
And these are these kid things. It's like, but these are nostalgia for all kinds of ages, and even kids knew it.
Oh.
So. Oh,
no, I'm here. I hit the wrong button. I'm trying to pull up. Might as well go through it really quick just so people can see. This will be our little free promo for Great Lakes Comic Expo this weekend. There's Mike's wife.
Yep.
Right here. That's not Mike. Where are we at here? Where's the stuff for this show?
Scroll down. Keep going. All the way down. There's that one. Nope, go back. Up under Expo,
here it is.
Expo area. Okay, yep.
Here we go. I'm trying to find the guess.
Yep.
So it's Friday. Expo. The preview night is
there's the thing right there. Up top there. It says 2022 Great Lakes Comic Convention. Click that one.
Okay, I'll click it. Just to give the times real quick since they're here. Yeah. So Friday, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's at the Macomb Community College by 12 Mile. It's the main campus, 12 Mile and like Shaner, that area. And here's the guess. Here we go. We got Jim Shooter. He's a great guy.
I sat in a few different times with Jim talking about the history, and he went through a lot of it too, and he knows everything.
So what's nice is Mike brings in actual like comic celebrities, like people who are big in the industry of comic books, who have done a lot of different things. We got Lex Luger coming in, former WWF champion. I think there was another wrestler too. I thought there was 2 WWE ones. Let's see who else we got here. Some Ghost Rider and Venom. So some good stuff here. And then lots of other guests as well.
Yeah.
Ron Simmons. He's the other WWF.
Yeah, I think for comic fans, like Jim Shooter's a big deal. They've got Larry Houston coming in. He did X-Men. He did work on the X-Men animated show, which is is getting revived coming up this next year. You've got Brett Breeding, who did Superman, Amazing Spider-Man, and Avengers. And you mentioned Lex Luger, Javier Salteras. I mean, a Ghost Rider guy right there. So it's a lot. These are a lot of great comics. Angel Medina, he's awesome. I love
Oh
his
yeah.
work. Spawn, Venom, Spider-Man, tons of other stuff. You got Kevin Van Hook from Valiant Comics, Bloodshot, Eternal Warrior. You got local, always there, Arvell Jones, who I like Arvell a lot. Tom Zahler, besides My Little Pony, he does a lot of independent comic stuff. In fact, I got this one here. Just got this a few weeks ago in the mail from his Kickstarter, his current Love and Capes. So he'll
Nice.
probably have that at the show. I enjoy his work. He's got a lot of interesting humor in his stuff. You got like Ron Simmons, who's another WWF guy, WWE guy. Oh, here you go. Kim Simmons, the original photographer, the original Kinder Star Wars storyline.
I was scrolling through all the guests, but I didn't realize when I clicked the guest, it opened up a separate window. So that whole time I was scrolling through.
Yeah, you weren't showing any of that stuff. Yeah,
I wasn't showing anything.
Now they have the grandson of Joe Simon, who's the co-creator of Captain America, is going to be there.
There we go.
Which is kind of interesting. Bill Morrison, who's done some work on the Simpsons comics. Paul Story, who's been around for long, Seth DeMoose. Dirk Manning's going to make an appearance. Philo Barnett, who's done some work on Little Mermaid, Secret of Nim, Dragon's Lair 2, Time Warp. That's kind of cool. And then Charles Moisant, who is with Silver Phoenix Entertainment, these Ultimate Adventures of the Cockerel's Fist. Not familiar with that at all, but that might be cool to check out. And then they have the cosplay guests, stuff like that. So not a lot in terms of TV, movie celebrities this time. He usually only brings a couple in if he can. Definitely very heavy on the comic side, which is what I've always enjoyed about the show. Is he goes more heavy comics than he does for media stuff. Because if you want the media stuff, Motor City Comic Con in May, which Scott and I will be at, we'll have a lot more of that. So
yeah, you know who's not on there? Lydia. She was one of the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi. She's usually an annual guest. I don't see her there, so I hope she's.
But I've seen her there a couple times when she wasn't on the list. Like she was like a last minute addition.
She'll sit at Scott Jones's table.
And Scott's going to be there. So I saw him post he's going to be, but I haven't seen her. So and maybe she's not coming out. She's there are still some people not ready to come out yet because of the COVID thing. So
could be.
But
so good stuff. Always. Oh, here's a participating exhibitors.
Yeah, so I'm listed under Bardstone, but if you look for either Bardstone or Kevin Meinert, you'll find us.
So you can see there's going to be a lot of people.
There's Bardstone Publishing right there. 819. Yeah, and then 821, I believe, is what Kevin's is.
And I think Angel Medina was listed as 818, I think.
Yeah, so he's going to be behind me. It's like the odd numbers on one side, even on the other sides.
The bearded artist is not me. But yeah, so there's always a great turnout.
There's a lot of great people in the artists and small press area. We probably will see like Corey Smith right there. And actually, if you're a fan of his work, this is his only Michigan appearance right now because while his art will be at Motor City, he physically will be in St. Louis because he double booked himself.
Yeah,
and so he did mention that not too long ago. Rachel Boggs should be there, I would think.
Dan Fraser, he's got an amazing collection of art.
I haven't seen Dan in a few years, so it'll be nice to see his stuff.
Yeah,
and he's got a lot of stuff done by a lot of classic artists, some great artists, some that aren't even around anymore, and then he's got some George Perez stuff, things like that. So, Jay Brandt, Heads Up Studios.
Yeah, Heads Up.
So
that'll be good to see Jay. I haven't seen him in forever.
Yeah. So, and then there's Kevin
Meinert.
Kevin.
Yeah. 817.
Yeah. Okay. So he's 817. So we're like, and then
you're the odd numbers.
Yeah. It's where the odd
numbers.
And
then behind you is the even numbers, I think.
Yep. It's kind of was last time. Cause I remember you came in last time. They put you behind us.
Yeah.
And you were kind of in the celebrity row. So
celebrity. And trying to see if there's any other of our friends of the show. Well, do you know if Dominic will be there?
I have not seen anything on Dominic's stuff at all.
Oh, there's Rachel. She's still under Rachel Kaiser.
Yep. I think she's using that more as her professional name versus her married name and that.
When I was doing This is one thing we're gonna have to be careful of. Like, you're listed as Bardstone. Now it's a small enough show, but when I did Motor City, I had Bardstone. And people who totally knew me and they knew I had Bardstone, they were looking for Scott Zambelli in the book. So people are finding me going, "Oh, I didn't know you were here. I didn't see you in the book." I'm like, "Oh, I'm Bardstone." Like, "Oh, I forgot."
I think it's one of the things that you guys will be watching for us. Watch for our Bardstone, but also, we try to, when I think for Indiana and Motor City, I should be listed under my name, and I listed the studio as a secondary part of it. Because it's sometimes easier for people to find me versus that. So
so just something to keep in mind.
Hey, this has been a fun
that's it.
show. It was funny because we came in talking about what we're going to talk about. We're now an hour and 20 minutes in. So I'll talk to Scott as soon as we sign off here. But you guys have a great week. We'll see you next time.